I've always wondered why, when I was in my mother's, I was staying at my mother's. If you know my story, she's one of my long term attackers, in secret, a spiritual narcissist, and covert. But I, while I was staying there, the Lord would have me give messages to people. And the Lord had me speak into my daughter, warning her about my mother's husband, and his church and stuff like that. And I realized that when he was having me warn them, because I would warn like the people he would make me speak to, like I had to speak to the kids and I had to speak to a couple adults or whatever. But when I would speak to them, it would obviously go back to my mother, and my mother would get upset and counter it with anger, tell me I was hearing a demon, blah blah, whatever. But I realize now that was the Lord drawing my enemies out, thinking, because to them, if she really didn't believe I was talking to the Holy Spirit, she was thinking that I was just bad mouthing or gossiping about them. You know what I'm saying? Even knowing that in the background, that's really what they're doing. But in her own denial, thinking that I was just trying to sabotage their name to whoever the Lord had me speak to or whatever. That was the way of the Lord getting our enemies to come up, well, my enemies to come up against me anyway. Not to harm me, to work out for my good, because obviously they're gonna try to do witchcraft against you because they need you to be in willful sin. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gossiping, that's sin. You know what I'm saying? So if I was being malicious or harmful in any way, that's sin because it's not the fruits of the spirit. You know what I'm saying? But it was drawing them out to get them to keep building on top of their own heads for their eventual punishment. Basically, I was just sitting here thinking about that right now. Like, I never could understand, like, why do I have to pass this word on? And now I got my mom yelling at me, and you know what I'm saying, like, or just coming at me in a negative way, and even being in denial and the stuff that she was doing. But I just realized right now while I was listening that that was the Lord's way of drawing them out, getting them to keep coming, because he wants them to build up. He wants them to build up their track record, because when it falls down on them, it's going to fall down on them hard. But yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, it was a setup. The Lord was setting my enemies up. Because it did look like I was just talking about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you just come out? But I was being obedient. Whatever the Lord tells me to say, I say it, no matter how uncomfortable it makes me feel. I say it. But that was the Lord drawing up my enemies out, getting them to basically put their own foot in their mouths. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was just thinking about that. Hope you're having a great morning. I'll be on with some words later.